So recently, Cat Williams had came out on stage and he was talking about Jamie Foxx, and he made a couple of jokes or whatever. And he was saying some things, but he said something that I actually heard before a couple of times, and he was talking about the situation with Jamie Foxx having the naked basketball parties, allegedly, butt naked basketball games or whatever. Man, I've heard about stories like that before. And I've heard the names that was actually at the parties. So, is that a real story or is that just something they trying to push down the line? Because that's a real story I've actually heard. And I know the celebrities that was actually doing it. Because when that rumor came out, everybody was like, man, y'all just think everybody doing stuff like that. But they don't say that now about Diddy. Because back then, people were saying stuff about Diddy too. And y'all was like, man, y'all think everybody swing that way. Y'all think everybody gay. No, no, we don't. I don't. And nobody said Michael Jordan was gay. Nobody said LeBron was doing stuff back then. Nobody said Kobe was doing stuff back then. Nobody said that Denzel was doing stuff back then. Uh, Nobody said that other entertainers was doing stuff back then. I didn't hear anything about Chris Rock back then. So I never heard people just running around and saying that every black celebrity had something going on. That was some of the most false things I've ever heard, and it's all allegedly. But I heard that he used to have butt naked parties back then, basketball parties. That's when I first said to myself, like, man, I am not jumping in this Hollywood stuff. They really got all that going on in Hollywood? Wow. That's something that caught me off guard, but it wasn't something that surprised me. I wasn't surprised by that. I knew that's how they get down. Cause I've had siblings and all kind of people that was close to getting in the industry or was in the industry, and they said, "Nah, I'm good." Everybody just ain't getting out of the industry or turning down millions of dollars for nothing. So we already see. And Cat Williams, when he was saying all this stuff 10 years ago, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. Why a lot of people ain't sit up here and say Cat Williams was lying over the years? Why all these celebrities sit up here and was quiet the whole time that Cat Williams was saying all this stuff? Are they guilty as well, or were they too scared to speak on something? See, I don't like when somebody go to jail, like Diddy go to jail, and then all of a sudden people like, yeah, I heard this and this and this. Nah, we don't need you to talk now, cause everybody want to be a somebody to expose somebody now, but they ain't say nothing when dudes was out of jail walking around. Even when the Cassie tape came out, you still didn't hear nothing about people saying anything about, well, I heard this or I saw that. Now all of a sudden, 30 years later, people like, well, I did see this. I did. Jennifer Lopez, Diddy. Bro, that was 20 years ago, bro. That was like 25 years ago, him and Jennifer Lopez. Are y'all serious? I know y'all ain't sharing these old stories. But Jamie Foxx, people were looking at it sideways because it's like Jamie Foxx was saying some stuff about Diddy, and he was recording videos and everything at parties. Then all of a sudden he went missing. The thing I don't like about what Jamie Foxx did recently was he made a joke out the whole situation with Diddy while he was on stage, and it's like, bro, people just realized, just last year, bro, people was asking, were you alive or were you not alive? Like the man went and said I had a stroke and everything else, or whatever situation he had, allegedly. Out of all that stuff that was going on, for some reason, it turned from Jamie Foxx was missing to he was sick, he was in a hospital, he was cloned. Now it turned into, well, it was a Diddy situation. A lot of people thought it was a Diddy situation from the beginning because it was weird because he went from talking about Diddy and everything else to all of a sudden he was just in a hospital. But it's crazy for him to make a big joke out of it because everybody last year was trying to figure out what's wrong with him. Is he all right? Why is he at Top Golf and just showing up like that and he ain't saying nothing to nobody? And then Katt Williams just said recently he had a clone. So why would he just pop up like that out of nowhere and just be like, yeah, man, just saying the things he's saying now, and then allegedly he brought up Diddy or a situation about it? I'm like, huh? You don't understand, bro, that people was thinking that you was out of here last year. Like, people was really looking at celebrities like, bro, what y'all do to Jamie Foxx? Or did y'all set him up? What happened? Or they was looking at movie companies like, hey, he was just doing the movie. He ain't doing the movie no more. So for him to come out and just be like joking about the whole thing, it's kind of like, oh, it's not a good look, bro. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You don't joke about stuff like that. So it's really not a good look on his part. I don't care if he was doing a comedy special. And the first time you mention something like that, shouldn't be a comedy special. It should be on a documentary or something. I mean, even 50 Cent doing a documentary right now on Diddy, so, or he already did it or whatever. I haven't seen anything yet. But that ain't something you joke about. So maybe Katt Williams was right about staying away from these parties. Well, I already knew he was right about that back in the day. Staying away from these parties. Certain celebrities. And people would be like, well, you know, Katt, because he ain't famous and around. Well, if he is, guess what? He was the only one calling it out. So why would I look at him crazy when he was the only one calling it out? When the guys that been around 30, 40 years in the music and entertainment industry ain't saying nothing. Katt Williams the only one really saying anything. And he kept saying it over and over and over. To the point where people were like, oh, okay. Okay, we take him serious. Now that whole time, Jamie Foxx ain't say nothing. He was still going to these parties, hanging out with Tom Cruise, ex-wife, baby mama. He was still running around with other celebrities. So he wasn't really looking at the situation like still hanging around Diddy and all these people. So it wasn't like people just said, you know, Katt Williams right, man. We need to stop messing around with these people. So it wasn't really a lot of people calling it out. I think a lot of people was really confused by that. Like Katt Williams been calling it out a long time. And people will say, well, he involved. Nah, bruh. He been calling it out. My only question is why these other celebrities ain't been calling it out? Why they ain't been calling it out? Why is most of these people that can call it out, they passed away already? Or they've been passing away lately. So for him to be the only one running around still being able to say some things and put it out there, it's not a good look. But have y'all noticed, everybody start their podcast and they start telling the truth now. And then you got a lot of people still saying, well, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. You've been in the industry the whole time and you ain't hear about a rumor or all this stuff, and you've been at all the big parties and everything else, and you got relationships with a lot of these people. So yeah, I heard about the butt naked basketball games and stuff like that. But what I heard about it was all dudes. And it was all big celebrity stars. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.